In my final year of school, I was writing English words using Ukrainian letters just to put something on the page. I graduated with the level of a first grader, truly hopeless. And yet, here I am, recording this video in English and working in IT for a British company. How did I bridge that gap? I'm not gonna tell you that it was easy or I don't know, that I found some magic pill, but I'm going to show you that it's never too late to start and that every little step adds up, even if you don't see the results yet. So let's get into my story. It all started at school, first grade, and I learned a bit slower than the others. And I remember one specific moment. The teacher was explaining something and I asked for a bit more time. In response, I just got a bad mark and a look of annoyance. The class moved on and I was left behind. That day I decided, okay, English isn't for me, I hate it. And that defined my relationship with English during my school years. The teacher convinced me that I was useless at languages. And I believed her. Back then I didn't realize that the problem wasn't me, the problem was the teacher. Now let's fast forward from first grade to my final year. We got a new teacher, and during one of the lessons we were writing a dictation. And I would just sit there and literally write down English words using Ukrainian letters, because I didn't know how to spell any of the English words. That's how low my level was. And the strangest part, I didn't feel like anything was wrong with that. It was just normal for me. And then new teacher came over to me, looked into my notebook, and I saw shock in her face, real, genuine shock. In that second, seeing it through her eyes, I saw myself for the first time from the outside, and I suddenly realized how crazy it was that I was graduating and I didn't know a single English word. And what did I do about it? Right, nothing. I just thought, okay, it's too late to change anything now. I can't catch up 11 years of missing English. And with that thought, and with the level of a first grader, I finished school. Years went by. I got into IT and I was good at it. And I wanted to grow in this field. That's when life gave me a slap in the face. It said, nope, my friend, you can't do this without English. And it wasn't just one moment. It was hundreds of little hits. You want to finish an IT course and got a certification? It's in English. You want to learn a new programming language? The documentation and the commands are in English. Every time I felt like I was standing in front of the locked door, and it wasn't just annoying, it was humiliating. Every time I felt like that little boy in the first grade, been left behind all over again. That's why I decided to go back to English. Not with love, not with inspiration, but out of necessity. Like bitter medicine you have to take to survive. Now, this is the important part, because there was no miracle. It was just long, boring and often demotivating work. I tried everything. Apps, courses, videos. You know that feeling. You learn 10 new words and the next morning you don't remember any of them. And you think, see, here we go again. Maybe English just isn't for me? I quit dozens of times. I told myself, that's it, I'm done, people live their life. I quit dozens of times. I just say, that's it, I'm done, people live their lives without English, I'll be fine. But something always forced me to come back, and that something wasn't motivation, it was just life. Let me give you a couple of examples. Example 1. Games. I love gaming. I found this amazing modification for my favorite game and it was only in English. So I sat there, annoyed, but I opened a dictionary and started translating. Not to study, but because I really wanted to play that mode. Example 2. Content. After the full-scale Russian invasion, I completely cut out all the Russian content. And I suddenly realized that there wasn't that much high-quality Ukrainian content for my specific interests, like science, IT, technology. So I had a choice, either stop learning and growing or watch it in English. So I turned on double subtitles and just watched.
2018, thousands of football fans were making their way to the game in Rome. Excitement for the game was high and the fans began to chant and sing.
First I understood nothing, then words, then phrases, all these little first steps taken not to study a language, but just to solve real-life problems. They started to adapt, they started to build a system. And without even noticing, I started spending a few hours with English every single day. Not with a textbook, but just by living my life. That is the process of turning the battle into a habit. English stopped being a school subject you have to study and just became a tool for life. Look, unfortunately I can't fit every single story from this journey into one video, but to show you the transformation, I'm going to tell you about one evening. My wife and I were watching the show Vikings. I usually watch with English audio and double subtitles, of course, to see the translation. But this time, because of a glitch, the subtitles didn't turn on. And I even didn't notice. Half an episode went by, and then it hit me. We were just sitting there, watching and understanding. Not every single word, of course, but we were following the plot, the dialogue, the emotions. In that second, I realized the battle was over. Listening to English used to be torture even for 5 minutes. Now I could listen English YouTubers for hours while running. Well, maybe not everyone, but definitely the ones I was used to. And this didn't happen overnight. It was the result of thousands of tiny steps taken out of anger, out of curiosity, or out of necessity. Here is the main idea. If you are struggling right now, if you feel that you are not making any progress, that is normal. That is a part of the journey. I don't have a talent for languages, I have a bad memory, and I had a huge fear and zero foundation. But I found a reason, and I just kept coming back. The idea is not to suddenly wake up and know English. The idea is to make it a habit, a part of your life, like brushing your teeth. Come in. And if that little boy who sat in class and writing English words in Ukrainian letters, if he could do it, I am 100% sure that you can too. Find your reason and don't give up. And by the way, if this video resonated with you, then definitely go and watch this video. It's about how I changed my mindset and my thoughts on how to find motivation. Thank you for listening. Bye.